This is now being investigated as an act of terrorism. The life of this man, taken, the veteran Army pilot surviving combat missions in the Middle East during the early 2000s, only to be killed here on U.S. soil. And there could have been other casualties if it were not for those brave students confronting the attacker and ending his life as he tried to end theirs.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the Conservative Bird, and me, Double D. And you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. We really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out. Also, if you could, please make sure to hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, smash the notification. It's the quick, easy, and free way to help this channel grow as big as possible. So, Double D, we have some crazy stuff that happened today. Some real crazy stuff that literally could have been avoided if it wasn't for these liberals being in charge 4 years prior to this year.
Yeah, it would seem the case. I mean, seems like here nowadays, every time we see one of these incidents happening, it's it's not really Americans that much anymore, unless it's on the side of the left. Of course, they seem to have no problem going into schools and doing what they have to do. But yeah, it's a serious tragedy and certainly needs to be addressed. But with that said, there's also, two heroes that came out of it. Yeah. But hey, before we get started, Bird, would it be all right if I did a little shout out for Josh Williams of Ohio out in the 9th District?
Sure.
He's running for Congress in the 9th District, and I just like to say, if you live in the 9th District in the Toledo area, you should really, really, really give your vote to Josh Williams. He's going to represent Ohio with dignity, with pride, and honestly, he's an upcoming star, too, for the Republican Party.
There you go. So if you guys haven't seen what happened at Old Dominion University, which is a military college, right?
Old Dominion. I don't know if it's a military college.
Or do they just have military courses in there?
They have military courses. They have the ROTC. That I know that for sure. Yes. I could be wrong on that, but I do know for sure they have ROTC there, obviously.
So today we had a crazy terrorist who literally should have been deported out of this country if it wasn't for Biden and him wanting to flood our country with millions and millions of illegals just for the sake of voting, whatever.
For voting for the Democrats.
Yeah, what it is. For voting for Democrats. And now we're reaping what happened. We're getting the cause and effect of everything now.
Yeah, we're definitely reaping what Biden has sowed. And it's unfortunate, too, because, and for what? What was the purpose? To solely bring the country to its knees? Is that what his plan was? I don't know what his plan was. But as a person who was also participated in the JROTC while I was in high school, this kind of hits home for me a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, let's show you guys a little bit of what the heck is going on in this day and age.
Again, with that frightening campus assault at Old Dominion University in Virginia. A gunman with known ties to ISIS entering a classroom and opening fire. Seconds later, students in that classroom taking decisive action to end the attack. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher joining us now with new developments tonight. Michelle.
Mark, this is now being investigated as an act of terrorism. The life of this man,
taken,
the veteran Army pilot surviving combat missions in the Middle East during the early 2000s, only to be killed here on U.S. soil. And there could have been other casualties if it were not for those brave students confronting the attacker and ending his life as he tried to end theirs.
Prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he shouted, stated Allah Akbar.
Those words and then gunshots as a convicted terrorist targeted Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia.
All of a sudden we heard
Time out for a second, Bird. Time out for a second. I want to point out that Joe Biden let him out of prison early, by the way, in 2022. He was sentenced to 11 years, and he only served 6, I think. Maybe 5 or 6 years.
He did half the time, which is absolutely insane the fact that this guy is not from this country. Didn't he go to jail for like acts of terrorism or something like that as well?
Yes, he did. He did. He went to federal prison for his ties to ISIS.
Like, to me, that he should have been deported.
Terrorist threats. Threats. Oh, no, should have been deported as soon as they let him out of prison.
Right, he should have literally been deported.
With Joey B, they just saw him as another Democrat voter.
Right, this is insane, dude. This literally could have easily been avoided if they didn't rig an election. It's insane, dude. It's absolutely insane.
And what's even worse about it is he was actually in the military himself.
Sad.
The shooter.
Yeah.
Isn't it sad?
Sad, dude.
It's like a country that gave him everything, and he turns around and he goes and kills a Lieutenant Colonel Brandon. What's his name? Brandon Shaw, right?
Yeah, by the way, rest in peace to Brandon Shaw. That is
terrible. The man was a hero, a decorated American soldier whose life is gone thanks to Joe fucking Biden.
And we really commend you for your service and
the Democrat Party.
Yeah, we really commend you for your service, and it's very sad to see him have to go like this.
A lot of people rumbling, starting to get up. We started running, and that's when we heard gunshots.
The FBI identifying the gunman as 36-year-old Mohammed Jallo, a former Virginia National Guard member. Around 10:45 Thursday morning,
Wow.
investigators say he calmly walked into a classroom on campus, asked if it was the ROTC, and when someone said yes, he shot the instructor several times.
That's insane.
Cadets fighting back.
There were students that were in that room that subdued
Shout
him,
out to them.
and
Out like a
rendered
motherfucker
him
to that
no
man.
longer
Hell yes.
alive. I don't know how else to say it,
Good.
but they basically were able to terminate the threat.
Man, shout out to them Patriots right there, boy. Yo, and they did it. They did it with no gun. No gun.
They did it barehanded, brother.
Yes.
They disarmed him and basically put him out of his misery in hours.
Rightfully so. This dude should have been kicked out of this country years ago. This is all thanks to Joe Biden and his corrupt DOJ and the rhinos and all the bullshit that we had to deal with for 4 years. Now it's like such a mess that it's so hard to clean everything up that's going on in this country. It's like you don't know where to start. It's like when you walk into a house, right? You're a cleaner, and the house is just absolutely and completely destroyed. It's like, where do I start here? How am I supposed to get, you got to figure out where to start. And unfortunately, I think one of the most important thing is kicking out all these illegal immigrants.
Well, and here's another thing that I don't understand. If you come to our country, you break our laws, you have ties to ISIS. He was a Virginia National Guard, for fuck's sake. What was he thinking?
Well, that's why he was trying.
He killed one of his own brothers, basically.
You're looking at it the wrong way, Double D. You're not looking at it the right way. He wasn't.
What do you mean?
That wasn't one of his brothers. He was trying to infiltrate our army. He was trying to infiltrate our military. He wasn't a brother. He was more of probably a spy, if anything, for ISIS.
Oh, there's obviously at this point, there's no other reason to think anything other than that. But the point is, a decorated soldier is now no longer alive thanks to that. The shit hits me close to home, man. It just is what it is. And I just,
sucks.
It hits close to home. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
He was not shot.
The rampage left 2 students injured, one critically. A third victim who died, identified late today as U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw, a veteran Army aviator who was a professor of military science at ODU, where he was also an alum.
Our campus and our community have been truly shaken and forever impacted by this senseless act of violence.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It is horrible.
So, if you guys want to know who Brandon Shaw was, he is a veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, and the Atlantic Resolve. His awards include 2 Bronze Stars, Senior Army Avatar Badge, Combat Action Badge, Parachutist Badge, Air Assault Badge, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, Air Medal with Valor, Joint Service Commendation Medal, Army Commendation Medal and the Joint Service Achievement Medal. So this man had multiple accolades under his belt.
And I assure you, those ROTC young men were proud to be serving and proud to be learning from this man too. I guarantee it.
So we have
I guarantee it.
So our country lost a great service member, a great patriot, a great person in exchange just for a cowardly, pathetic, weak ISIS sympathizer.
An act of violence that should have never happened.
I don't get it. And if you want to know who this guy is, this is the man who did it. Mohammed Jalal. Born in Sierra Leone, not born in here, became a naturalized citizen because of Joe Biden, radicalized by Al-Qaeda, convicted for providing material support to ISIS, sentenced to 11 years in prison, and released from prison early under Joe Biden.
That's right. Under Joe Biden and the Democratic Party. Y'all did this, Democrats.
Yeah, and if you guys want to see the judge that decided to let him out, here it is, the honorable, so-called honorable Liam O'Grady. And this man was hired by George Bush, so he's obviously a rhino. He's obviously part of the establishment. He's obviously part of the establishment, part of the problem, and that's what it is. It's an establishment problem. These people just don't care about our country like they should.
No, they care about their own personal gain. And for this man, I don't know what he thought or why he thought it was the right thing to do to release someone with ties to ISIS
early,
to release them back into the country.
But why
did they send him back to Sierra Leone?
If you're going to release him early, cool. Release him early and kick him out of the country. Get out of here, dude. You got to go.
Yeah, he's not from America, and he shouldn't have been allowed to stay. Once you commit a crime, if you are a naturalized new citizen and you start committing crimes in this country and you have ties to the enemies of this country, you have to fucking go.
So the judge that we just showed you, the Honorable Liam O'Grady, he has a new fan right now, and this new fan is an ex-FBI agent.
Should have gone to jail for 20 years, Lawrence, and I believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 132 months. And again, it goes back to that suicidal empathy. The judge here decided that somebody that was tried and convicted of providing material support to ISIS deserved a second chance. And this was his second chance. We are going to see more ISIS-related and inspired attacks. And why is that? Well, propaganda and attention is the coin of the realm in the terror business. And ISIS doesn't want Hamas and Hezbollah getting all the attention. So I think now more than ever, we need to pay attention to these potential lone wolf attacks. I should have gone to jail.
I don't disagree with him at all. I agree with him 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with what he's saying.
These people are going to keep doing it because they're going to think that they're allowed to do it. And that's what's insane, bro. It's like you have to really, all right. So, for example, okay, here's a very good example of this, Double D. The 20 million illegals that came into the country under Joe Biden, correct?
Yes.
None are coming in under Trump. Why? Because Trump put his foot down. We need to put our foot down. We need to put our foot down on these ISIS sympathizers, all these scumbags and all these losers, all these anti-Americans. We need to kick them the fuck out of our country already.
And we need to take it one step further. Not only should we put our foot down, we need to put our foot on the back of their neck so they can't get up.
Right. So the FBI raided the shooter's home afterwards. Let's check it out.
I'm Akia Turner with this Fox 5 News Alert. A former Army National Guard member opening fire on Old Dominion University's campus in Norfolk, Virginia. A shooter identified as Mohammed Jallo killed one person and injured 2 others in that shooting.
We know about it.
One of the victims has been identified as Lieutenant Colonel Shab, a professor of military science and the department chair for the school's ROTC program. We're learning Jallo shouted Allah Akbar before that shooting. Authorities say some ROTC students subdued him and killed him. FBI Director Kash Patel announcing the shooting will be investigated as an act of terrorism. Classes are suspended today as police continue their investigation. Marissa?
Well, Makia, closer to home, FBI agents raid the suspect's home out in Sterling, Virginia.
All right, that's our Melanie Alwick is this morning. Let's get to her with an update on this connection to the DMV.
Well, I don't care. His family needs to be kicked out of this country.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about...
You all got to go. You all got to get out of here. I don't care. You all got to go.
His name was Muhammad, right?
Yeah, Muhammad Jalal.
Yeah, Muhammad Jalal's family's got to go.
Yeah, you got to go.
They need to all be removed. They need to all be removed.
You guys,
I don't even care if they're. I don't even care if there's any that are born here.
Yeah, you guys brought this scumbag to this country. You all need to be removed or thrown in jail. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, they need to own it for sure.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, so we're in a little townhouse neighborhood not far from the Dulles Town Center, and this is where the suspect lived with members of his family for about 2 years after his release from prison in 2024. We want to show you the scene from overnight, just a very heavy police presence here, heavily armed as well. We can see
hell yeah. Because listen, to be fair, if the dude's got ties to ISIS, you don't know who's in that house. The family could be in the house and there could be 5 ISIS members downstairs plotting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We really don't know.
For all we know right now, his family could be in the basement making pipe bombs like the clown from New York.
Exactly. So, it's rightfully so that they should be...
from Newtown, Pennsylvania, really.
Yeah.
But the ones who went to New York.
Yeah. But, yeah, rightfully so, though, that they should be posted up outside the house just to make sure. You want to make sure nothing else is going on.
Investigators taking pictures
inside
the home, gathering and processing evidence and talking to the people inside. Now, neighbors say the folks inside are relatives of Mohammed Jallah. 2 people walked out with investigators, and we saw them all drive away together. Members of the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force remained on scene for some time. FBI Special Agent Dominique Evans said every piece of information gathered is useful.
We obviously are going to dig in, and this is why we need the public support to where he may have been before this, who he may have been in contact with, if he had any.
Okay, we heard this earlier. Okay, so
yeah, we did.
So we know about all that. So finally, the White House chimed in. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what the president had to say myself for sure.
Okay, so he says this is Trump. You want me to read it in Trump voice?
If you can pull it off, do it.
Everybody
loves the Trump one.
It's a disgrace. They're really demented people out there. They come into our country. They came in a lot through Biden, and they came in through other presidents, frankly, and it's a disgrace. It's very shameful. It's a shame when you hear about those things. It's a shame. Very sad.
It is very sad.
It is.
And I couldn't be more angry at the situation, man.
So we tried finding the names for you guys of the heroes, of the patriots, of the superheroes
ROTC at Old Dominion,
but they did not release their names yet. So I don't think anybody knows what their names are. But whoever they are, salute to you, shout out to you, and thank you for your service. Thank you for your
God bless you guys.
Thank you for your bravery and doing what you had to do and putting your life on the line. Because it could have he could have killed a lot more. Could have killed a lot more, hurt a lot more.
And I want to reiterate, they did it with their bare hands. They didn't have to use any weapons. That is American military, what's the word I'm looking for? Prowess right there.
There you go.
We have the greatest military on the planet, and I don't give a fuck what anybody else says.
Yep.
Those men were able to do it without guns. That means if we were having a hand-to-hand combat with the enemy and it was down to those 2 and another person on the enemy side, we would have still won.
Yeah.
That's what that tells me.
I don't disagree.
We have the greatest and most powerful military in the world.
Yeah.
And don't forget it, world.
So
don't forget it.
To me, this is an act of cowardice, act of being a pussy, I guess, right? Dude's just a pussy.
Yeah, well, he walked in with an AR-15 into a building in which he knew there were no other guns.
Yeah, that's true.
and he opened fire as soon as he found out. It's like he didn't even know who his victims were. He was just shooting them because they were wearing the uniform that he once wore.
Yeah, but he didn't wear it with pride, though. Like I said, he didn't wear it with pride.
He did not.
He wears his ISIS uniform with pride. That's why he did that, to try and infiltrate our military. That's what that was.
You're probably right, Bird. That's probably exactly what his plan was.
If he's
going to prison instead, so now he was a useless idiot instead of a useful idiot.
Yeah, that's true. Well, on that note, we're going to end it. I just want to say, first off, rest in peace to Brandon Shaw. You did not deserve that. Your service is commended. We appreciate you, and your family doesn't deserve to deal with that.
Absolutely not.
Not at all. So, God bless our troops. God bless our country. God bless the president. God bless everybody. Just remember, without God, none of this is even possible anyway. So,
that is the truth there, Bird. Without Jesus, without our Lord and Savior, we're nothing.
Yeah. So, thank you to God, first of all. Thank you to my friends and family. Thank you to Double D. Thank you to the audience. I appreciate you guys.
And as always, Bird, thanks for making the show happen every single time, as you do. Audience, thanks for sticking around. I would like to give a special thank you to Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw for your service. It breaks my heart that you are no longer with us. It is wrong in every way. I am so glad that those two heroes were able to subdue that son of a bitch that killed him.
I agree.
And hold him down. Most importantly, though, I would like to thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because without Jesus, without God, we don't have anything. And that's the only thing left we have to believe in, because we certainly can't trust what's going on in our country anymore, thanks to Joe Biden and the Democrats' open door policy and philosophy. But we'll save that for another day. And with all that, good night, y'all.
All right, everybody. Peace. Have a good one. God bless America. Peace.